In this video, I'll show you how to paint the rainbow balloons on a blue sky. To get the idea of how much space you're actually going to have to paint on your stone, draw around the circle of your stone. That way you'll find out exactly how much space you've got. Sketch out your ideas. I came up with two. We're going to go with the bottom one. Stones are somewhat porous, which means that they soak up the paint that you apply on. You can either use white gesso, paint, or in my case, I prefer to use matte medium. I'm using a little bit of kneaded eraser, rolling it up and putting the stone on top. That way it anchors down the stone and it's easier to paint. This can be either the scariest or the most fun part of the painting, the first time you lay paint to your surface. For the sky, I'm using a combination of ultramarine blue, phthalo blue, and white. What I'll do is I'll pick up a little bit of phthalo blue, paint it on, dab it on, then I'll pick up, without cleaning my brush, a little bit of ultramarine blue and maybe a little bit of white, and then keep going all along the surface, varying up the strokes, the detail amount, etc. Now, your natural inclination may be to clean your brush every so often. Don't do that. Instead, let the colors that are already in your brush blend in with the new colors that you pick up. That way, it blends out more easily and more naturally, giving you more dimension in the painting. Following the same procedure, using mostly white this time, I'll pick up a little bit of either phthalo blue, which is a cooler blue, or ultramarine blue, which is a warmer blue. And you mix them together, but primarily you're going to use the white to form the clouds. And then carrying on, you want to use more white than any of the other colors and build up the fluffiness of the clouds. In a circular motion, with the tip of your brush, just do circles and around. It's easy. Don't worry. I wouldn't do anything that wasn't easy. It just takes a little bit of practice. I would really like you to try out this painting. It's fun. I think you'll enjoy it. When you're done with it, take a picture and send it to me in an email. And when I get the picture of your painted stone, what I'll do is post it in a future video that I upload. You may be wondering why I keep going over the same areas over and over and over. I'm not really going over the same areas, but I am adding a little bit more detail and dimension with each layer that I apply. To transfer your image to your stone, attach your sketch to carbon paper, and using a stylus or a pencil or a pen, trace over it. Next, you want to start painting in the area of the balloons. I know, we just spent so much time painting the sky and the clouds, but yes, you're going to do that now. What you want to do is make sure that you apply 2 layers of the white onto the balloons, covering the sky and the clouds completely. Just as in the painting of the sky and then the clouds, what you want to do is you want to give each balloon its own base layer. Once the base coat is dry, you can use a little bit of white, very little bit of white, with the initial color, mix it together, and add the highlight to the right side of the balloon. And then what you can do is on the left side, you can pick up some of the original pigment or paint color and work that into the lightened or whited area of the balloon. Blending in the two is kind of like a dance. First one side, then the other, and then eventually you come together. It takes time and practice, but the more you do it, the easier it becomes. So it'll almost become like second nature to you. I like using glitter. It adds another level and dimension to just about any stone. But instead of buying a bunch of glitter tube paints, which can be really expensive, I use Martha Stewart fine glitter. Mix it in with Liquitex matte medium. You can use as much glitter or as little glitter as you want, depends upon what you want. Only mix one color glitter at a time, because remember, matte medium is actually paint without the pigment. If you mix all the color glitter at the same time, you run the pretty good chance, of the glitter drying out before you're ready to use it. Quick question. Do you set a time during the week, during the weekend to paint? Do you allow yourself time to express yourself? Comment in the comment section below, and I'll respond to every comment. Once the balloons have had a chance to dry, probably about 10 minutes, draw a single black line using a pen. In this case, I'm using a Micron 8-point pen. Just make sure that if you don't use a Micron, use any water-based pen. That way it can easily be painted over with when you varnish. I like to start drawing the lines beginning where two lines meet together. Take your time, don't rush. Although you can fix an error, it's easier if you don't have to. Painting the highlights of the balloons gives them a three-dimensional feel. Go to the side of the balloon where the light is the greatest, and using a fine point brush, put one or two small dots, vary it up from balloon to balloon, and then a longer dash curving around the edge of the balloons. I like including dots in most of my artwork. They're fun and random. A little goes a long way, remember. You can use as many as you want or as little as you want. You can use anything that has a point at the tip, like the tip of a hairpin, the back end of your paintbrush, or In this case, I'm using a dotting tool. Every time you need more paint, just get it, not a lot. Every so often, clean the tip of the tool so it doesn't build up and gunk up and create really big dots. You don't want that. So anyway, just have fun and enjoy it. Using a fine brush, paint with gold around the edges of your back. It gives you an extra pop. If you enjoyed this painting, please give me a thumbs up, leave a comment below, and hit the subscribe button. And remember to click on the bell too, so you'll be notified of any future videos. Remember to celebrate life, celebrate others, and celebrate your inner creative voice. And remember to do some painting.